All right, so let's dive into it. We're going to talk about making an echo. And what I mean by that is all of our lives make an echo. All of our lives have a reputation. When someone says your name, people think about certain things. Another way of saying it is leave a legacy. There's a difference between significance and success. And so the heartbeat of this episode would be significant, not just successful, because people forget successful people. Nobody forgets significant people, the people who were significant in their life. And everybody wants their life to mean something. If you add up all the people that are on the globe today, all the people who have ever lived, you are 1 out of 7 billion people who are on the globe today. Everybody wants their life to mean something, to be more than just 1 out of 7 billion. You want your life to mean something. And that's why I'm talking about make an echo. You have to be purposeful on something like this. If you want your life to be an echo long after you die, or long after you move out of a city, or leave a school, or go to a new employment. You want your life to have made such a difference to the people who knew you that they don't ever forget you. That's making an echo. And so I've got a few thoughts for you. First thing I want to talk about is how exactly, from a practical standpoint, do you do that? The first thing, you have two options, okay, on making an echo. The first one is to find a person. Now, when I say you have two options, most of the time it's going to be a combination of these two options, but nevertheless, you have two options. Find a person. Find a person that you find yourself caring for them almost as much as you care for yourself. You think about them. Find a person, look at that person and say, by the time I get done with you, now you'll never be done with them, but by the time I get done with you, I am going to change your entire life. I'm going to change your entire life. For example, my wife Allie and I adopted 2 twin girls in Recife, Brazil, through Compassion International. And if you've never done that before, at the very least, get on the website of Compassion International and adopt a girl or a little boy. Your $39 a month changes their entire world, whether you ever meet them or not. Less than 1%, less than 1% of the people who sponsor children through Compassion will ever meet their children, but they have changed their life. They have changed their life. But thankfully, I was a part of the less than 1%. I had an opportunity to meet our girls. They're 11-year-old twins in Recife. And we've been sending $39 a month to each of them over the last 3 years. And when we showed up, we saw what our $39 a month has done to their life. And we have changed their life. But once I met them and I met their mother and I found out their living conditions and I found out what their home looks like, the fact that they don't have a floor, their floor is the dirt, it's ground. They live in a 1-bedroom. A small little hut. I say a hut, it's made of bricks and rock, but I mean, I think if I ran real hard, I could probably crash into the side of the wall and knock the whole thing over, or Barry Sanders could at least. But I'm looking at their living conditions and I'm saying, okay, all right, I'm really happy that I have changed your life this far with my $39, but you have no idea what I am about to do to you guys. I'm going to change your entire world. In fact, I'm going to change an entire generation. Because if I can do what I did with $39 a month, wait and see what I'm about to do to you guys. So I come home, I talk to my wife, and I'm like, look, we can buy them a new house. We can buy, it would cost us, but we could buy them a new house. We could just do a lot. If I sent $100 a month to the family, I mean, you guys get my point, right? I can change their entire world. And then even on stateside, to see a young man or a young woman who kind of reminds you of yourself and say, okay, the years will teach what the days never will, and I'm going to share everything I have with this person. So find a person. Number 2 is find a cause. Find a cause, whether it's a great cause is Elijah Rising here in the Houston area. You know, their cause is to stop sex trafficking, to dive into a cause and be committed to a cause. The greatest cause in the entire world is the local church, a local Christian church. If somebody does not have a relationship with Jesus Christ, it doesn't matter what they do have, because everybody is going to spend eternity somewhere. And so to dive into the local church and to be reliable, not just a person that kind of comes in once a month and then floats back out, but join a team within the church and be reliable. Hey, you can count on me twice a month. I'm not somebody that you have to call and wonder where I'm at. You can rely on me. The Red Cross, there are causes, nonprofit organizations everywhere that you can be a part of. And when you join something like that, you are beginning to make an echo that nobody will ever forget. There's keys to making an echo. Number 1, you have to be able to give to a person or to a cause, and they are not able to give back to you. That's very important, that the law of reciprocity cannot go into effect. See, the law of reciprocity is simply stated, if you do something nice for me, I feel compelled to do something nice for you. And with whatever resources I have, I am going to reciprocate your kindness. And what you want to do when you're making an echo is to find people, to find a cause. They are not capable of reciprocating your kindness, your give. They do not have the ability to do that. That's when you're making a genuine echo. And secondly, here's another key to making an echo. And this is a challenge for many of us. Do it in secret. You know, we live in a social media world where if you go to the gym and work out, you have to take 14 pictures and post it on Instagram or Facebook. If you have a good lunch at Chili's, you got to take a picture of it and post it on Facebook. You know, every single remotely successful thing that we do, anything that even could be mistakenly admirable, we have to post it on social media to let everybody know what we just did. And I get that. It's fun. It's fun to stay connected. I'm not downing social media. And there's also a level of inspiration that you can cause by posting things like that. You know, you can inspire others to do good. And I get that as well. But let's just recognize that when you have brought admiration to yourself, when your own lips have spoken well of you, or your own fingertips have brought an admiration to yourself, if you will, through the social media, just know this: you have just received your reward. Those likes, those 72 likes on that post, or those 4 or 5, 7 or 8 comments, that is your reward. And enjoy that fraction of a moment, because when you choose not to bring credit to yourself, to what you just did, what you're doing, you are postponing your reward. You're saying, I don't want the reward right now. I'm going to wait on my reward. And when you wait on your reward, it builds interest. It's like, hey, I could spend this $100 right now, or I could invest it and make 10% off of it year after year after year after year. And then I'm gonna grab that $100 20 years from now, and then I'm gonna have the $100 plus all the interest it is accrued. Now that is the same exact principle as when you choose to not bring glory to yourself. You choose to not tell the world the good that you just did, because when you stand before God, and I don't know how religious you are, but everybody's going to spend eternity somewhere. Just know that. And so you're going to stand before God. And if you chose to postpone the glory, postpone the honor, the admiration, he is going to honor you, but what is done in secret will be shouted in heaven. And so I want to challenge you. I know you got to tell some people you're not always going to be able to invest the reward versus spend the reward, but do it in secret. Do it in secret. What will it cost you to make an echo? If you make a real echo, if you make a strong echo that's going to last a while, it's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you a lot. I want you to think of another, instead of using the word echo, we could use the word ripple. If you want to make a small ripple in a pool, just throw a small pebble into the pool. If you want to make a huge ripple, throw a large rock into the pool. The larger the rock, the bigger the ripple. The more you focus, the more you invest, the more you spend, the greater the echo. So what will it cost you? Will it cost you money? Absolutely, it'll cost you money. You say, well, I don't really have a lot of money. Well, brace yourself. Brace yourself. If you make $100 a week, be prepared. $7 of that dollars is going to end up going to somebody else. And you're going to think to yourself, man, I need this $7. I need this $7. But when you find somebody that you love, you find a cause that makes your heart beat, you are going to be compelled to give what you have. You're going to feel compelled to give. It is just, it's in the air. You get almost intoxicated with love. You get intoxicated with care, and you find yourself wanting to give to the best of your ability. Just be prepared for that, and underscore the words that I'm saying, the best of your ability. Because like I said, I used to wait tables and when I was in college, and I'd make about, $200 a week. And I'm thinking about that wad of cash that I would hide in my ashtray at the end of every single night. And if I still made, I'm sorry, let me go backwards. If I were a part of a cause, or if I began to make an echo at 20 years old, and I wish I did, I would know that a portion of that wadded up cash, I would feel compelled to give much of it away. And I was a part of an awesome church, a Triumph Church in Nederland, Texas. And I'd take my $200 of wadded up cash, and I would find myself giving at least 10% of it to the church, not because I had to, not because somebody was leveraging emotions on me, but I loved what God was doing, and I wanted to contribute to it. If you are a part of Compassion, Elijah Rising, Red Cross, whatever it is, Samaritan's Purse, whatever the non-for-profit is, you are going to feel compelled to give. You're going to feel compelled to give money. And that's just a reality. And the more you're blessed, the more you're going to want to give. So brace yourself for that. It will cost you money. And it's going to, and here's the thing, many of us would rather it cost us money than cost us time. We would much rather write a check than devote 4 hours of our evening for a person, or to a cause. And we've got legitimate reasons for that. Many of us work between 40 and 55 hours a week, and that doesn't even include commute time, drive time. You don't even, there's just a scarcity of time. How much, you don't even have the time to do what you enjoy. Some of you enjoy cycling or running or going to see a movie, and you don't even have time to do the things that you enjoy doing, much less block off time to spend with an individual person that you're wanting to make an echo in their life, or with an organization or a cause. But just know this: if you're really going to make an echo, if your life is really going to matter, you are going to have to volunteer your time. Your time. You cannot make an echo without investing time. You can write checks, and it will move the needle in people's life. It will change their life. But your name, your face, will never be embedded on a heart until you begin to invest time. And then number 3 is just be prepared for the emotional expense that you are going to feel. You're going to feel yourself loved to the point where it hurts. You're going to feel yourself loved to the point where it gets scary. If you've ever been through a divorce, let me just talk to you specifically for a minute, or a really bad breakup, or if somebody in your life has ever passed away too early, what you'll be tempted to do for the rest of your life is to continue to love, to continue to care, but to hold a piece of your heart back, because you'll say to yourself in no uncertain terms, I'm never going to let myself get hurt like that again. And so you'll hold pieces of your heart back. And I'll just tell you that when you begin to invest yourself into a person, you begin to invest yourself into a cause, you will find yourself loving to a place of uncomfort. You'll say to yourself things like, I wasn't anticipating loving this person that much. I wasn't anticipating being consumed with this cause as much as I am. And it will feel very uncomfortable. But that is when your heart really begins to beat for many of you the first time. Your life will never be fulfilling until you are giving and you are growing. You will never, ever be fulfilled until you are giving unselfishly, you are giving without reciprocity, and you are growing in an area of your life where you feel yourself becoming a better person, or a smarter person, or a person that has more to give, more to offer. That's why whenever you finish reading a book and you know more than you did 2 hours ago, you just feel fulfilled. Anytime you are growing or giving, that's when you find yourself most fulfilled. And the sad tragedy is oftentimes we get swallowed up in our work, and we put 55, 65 hours into a work. We're just kind of like a machine. We show up for work and we press the power button and we just start hammering out. We're producing a product or a service, and we're just bang, 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 producing the product or service, bang, 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 phone calls, emails, meetings, bang, 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 bang. But in the process, we're never actually giving, and we're never actually growing. And because of that, we're not feeling fulfilled. And so we turn around, we're saying, yeah, we're making money, or I got a nice house, I have a nice car, I've got a great job, but I don't feel fulfilled. It's because we're not growing. It's because we're not giving. And it will cause, whenever I talk about giving, we will end up giving money. We will end up giving time. We will end up giving emotion. And those 3 things will be of great expense if you make a legitimate echo. A few closing thoughts before I end this episode. Successful people are hardly recognized, but significant people are never, ever forgotten. The difference between success and significance is this. Success, a successful person has reached their dreams. A significant person has helped other people reach their dreams. Continuing on a few closing thoughts. Choose to be committed long after the excitement is gone. See, when you meet a person that you want to make an impact with, you want to mentally, physically, financially, spiritually adopt, or a cause that you're going to invest in. It is exciting for the first few days, first few weeks, but then all of a sudden excitement begins to wane. The emotion begins to go away. My challenge to you is this: choose to be committed long after the excitement is gone. Number 3 on my closing thoughts section, and this is my last thought. Actually, I've got 4 thoughts on the closing thoughts section that I'm sharing with you. Number 3 is build a routine and stick to it. Don't wait to be motivated. Just be disciplined. And number 4 is you can only provide the level of strength that you have within you. So where does your strength come from? You're showing up to be a source of strength, but where does your strength come from? Does your strength come from, well, I hope I'm in a good mood today, otherwise I don't have anything to offer. And if I'm in a bad mood, maybe I better not show up at all. And let me pull these levers right here to get myself in a good mood, get a good night's sleep, have a nice breakfast. Let me pull these levers to make sure that I'm in a good mood. Where does your strength come from? Because you have to know where your strength comes from so that you can go back to that well and be fulfilled, to get strength and show up and actually have something to offer. For me and myself, I'll just tell you, if I'm not spending time on my knees before God, I have no business standing up in front of anybody else because I don't have anything to offer them. That's really all I have to say for today. I hope that something I've said has encouraged you, motivated you, equipped you, inspired you. But before I sign off, let me say this. Everyone is going to spend eternity somewhere. Everyone. And if your heart were to stop beating in the next 5 minutes, are you ready for eternity to begin? And lastly, the difference between good and outstanding is just a little bit extra effort. Regardless of what you're doing, whether it's a date night or a project or a writing assignment, the difference between good and outstanding is exerting a little bit of focused, fiery effort. And that shifts whatever you're doing from good to outstanding. I hope that today has encouraged you. Until next time, you guys be safe, pray a lot, and I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.